Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Thank you, Joe. 20 minutes before 11 o'clock. Nice looking Monday morning, isn't it? Boy, we had a lot of rain where we were up in Chattanooga for the last 4 days, and it just wasn't stopping. However, if I complain about that rain, I am not paying attention to the news, because the real rain to pay attention to is the one hitting South Carolina. Or the ones, I guess it's plural. It is just amazing how much water is falling in the Carolinas, specifically South Carolina. It's just unbelievable. What, 20-something inches in the last few days or so? So anyway, so it's the first. Teddy, is it feeling like summer outside yet, Robin? Have you gone outside at all?
Yes, yeah. It feels real pleasant. It's not super hot, but it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Good morning.
So we had this morning this topic about the Koch brothers that we didn't get to. Mm-hmm. So let's bring it up right now. And this is highly political and somewhat debatable, I suppose. But when you have people like the Koch brothers, and forgive me for not remembering their names.
Yeah, but usually they don't say names. They
always say the Koch
like
brothers.
The Koch brothers.
Right.
That's it.
But for some reason they've got this reputation where if you put your name, if you put their names associated with a candidate, there will be some people who don't care, and there will be some people who say, "Oh, that's a red flag. The Koch brothers will own whoever the candidate is." Mm-hmm. So Carly Fiorina is the one who I wanted to tell you about. Carly Fiorina has emerged as the Republican candidate of the moment in conservative fundraising circles, drawing the notice of the billionaire Koch brothers and other wealthy donors who could instantly remake her shoestring presidential campaign. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you when you hear that billionaires are mm-hmm. pushing for Carly Fiorina? Mm-hmm. When you have a billionaire running for office, does that tell you, now I want to hear from you all, does that tell you that they're afraid that Donald Trump will actually do something which he said he would do, mm-hmm. which was to create a tax code that would actually hurt himself mm-hmm. as a businessman, but yes. he felt like it was best for the nation? That's what he said.
Yeah, best for the nation. I love those words.
He said, okay, but if you're a businessman who can maybe outdo Trump, and the Koch brothers perhaps can, and you want your candidate to win, it's almost like supporting what Donald Trump is claiming he will do. So everybody who is skeptical that Donald Trump will change the tax law to make it harder for corporations to retain money. Now, mm-hmm. I'm the first one to say anything you do to a corporation is going to either cause that corporation to move out of the country or cause it to change its bottom line so that the prices ultimately are still paid by mm-hmm. the consumer, mm-hmm. right? And you all know that. Everybody knows that. That's the common sense. But my point is that if Donald Trump is making statements about changing the tax code, and if Donald Trump says, look, what I'm planning to do is going to help America but hurt businessmen a little bit, and including myself, he's acknowledging that his plan mm-hmm. will hurt himself. Right. So what does the average person do when you hear a salesperson say that? I'm actually taking a hit, right? Mm-hmm. You raise your eyebrows and you say, oh, come on. You're lying to me. You're making something up. So then why would the Koch brothers be so adamant about supporting somebody else?
And that's the issue that you're making a really good point on. Donald Trump is running for president as himself. Carly Fiorina is running for president as herself. But if she has the Koch brothers pulling her strings, they're the ones that are running the country and not the person that we vote for, not Carly Fiorina. She's the puppet.
That's what they said about Abraham Lincoln. And in Abraham Lincoln's case, whoever was supporting him financially back in those days, his opponents said, if we vote for Abraham Lincoln, we're actually voting for whoever the money people were. Mm-hmm. And all of you historians probably could tell me who they were. I don't know. But he proved them wrong, which may be why he got shot. I don't know. And Carly Fiorina could be the same way. Mm-hmm. Carly Fiorina could have the support financially of the Koch brothers, and then, if we're elected, could refuse to be a puppet. Could be the strong lady. I mean, she seems to be a strong lady. We do have some phone calls coming in. If you can, I will answer the phone. I'm not sure if you can hear me. I hope you can. I will take a break. And when we come back, I'd love to have phone calls on this subject. We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun with a passing afternoon shower. The high today 80 to 84, and partly cloudy tonight, low 65 to 69. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun. There can still be a couple of showers along the coast. The high 81 to 85. On Wednesday, partly sunny. There may be a shower in spots, mainly in the afternoon over the interior. The high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then, I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School football on WOCA, The Source.
WOCA, If you want to avoid getting ripped off and put more money in your pocket, then join me, Clark Howard, every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA, The Source.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. Gosh, right under the wire there. Just, back in the old days, you could put In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida on, or American Pie, and you'd have more time. All right, we've been talking about the Koch brothers and other mega donors as well, by the way. I didn't bring up the others. I didn't bring up T. Boone Pickens. He hosted a luncheon at a Dallas venue for Fiorina also. So a lot of these rich guys are really supporting Carly Fiorina. And here's their names, Charles and David Koch. I couldn't remember their first names, but I looked it up real quick. So anyway, Jim Penna, always well-spoken on politics, is on the phone. Good morning, Jim. How you doing? Thank you for waiting, by the way.
Yes, good morning, good morning. Well, I mean, Mrs. Fiorina is hardly a pauper. I mean, she's a Silicon Valley
That's true, too, yeah.
So, I mean, she has a certain amount of independence that way. It's not like you can bribe her. She doesn't live a lavish lifestyle such as you would expect of a person with that much money. So
okay, but you know what? I would love to hear you comment though on my question. What I'm pondering here: do you think that they are supporting her because they're afraid of what Donald Trump might do?
Yeah, probably.
And so that almost supports the fact that, I mean, if you are, and I'm not saying
if you have the ability to invest in a campaign that maybe could be in your own self-interest, you do it.
Yeah. But do you think that means he's telling the truth? So a lot of people are skeptical that he would do something that would hurt himself. And is what he...
Well, I mean, Donald Trump is sort of an unknown quantity. I mean, he's changed his opinion so many times over the years that, you know, a lot of people aren't sure where he's coming from 1 minute to the next.
Well, here's my thought on that. We all change our opinions over the years, right?
Yeah.
The difference between he and we, and he and Carly Fiorina, by the way, is that he has had this celebrity status. So he says something, it gets into the news. Carly Fiorina could have said the same thing at a dinner party and nobody would have ever heard about it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and if you change, and he said something, he was asked about, he was asked about his opinion about abortion. Why did you change your opinion on abortion? He says, well, when I was asked the last time, I was doing a TV show called The Apprentice, and I never thought about abortion, to be honest with you. And I just thought, yeah, well, you should have it. But now I've looked at it further, and I see that it's a baby. And he made sense when he answered why he changed his mind.
Yeah.
Men are sometimes detached from the abortion question because, quite frankly, none of us are ever going to have one.
That shouldn't matter, though.
That's always kind of going to be more of a woman's issue than a men's issue.
Yeah, you're probably right. For most people, I feel, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your input, Jim. Appreciate that.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. You too. Phone lines are open. This is a political chat. We had actually planned this earlier this morning, but we got talking about our trip, so we didn't bring this up. Fiorina's show-stealing performance in the Republican presidential debate and her subsequent surge in the polls has prompted industrialists Charles and David Koch to take a serious look at Mrs. Fiorina, who also, as Jim Penna pointed out, was as a successful business person herself. She was the chief executive officer at Hewlett-Packard. She has now moved to the short list of candidates the Kochs may support with their reported $1 billion war chest. The sources said Florida Senator Marco Rubio is also on the list. Other politically powerful mega donors are also lining up. Texas oilman T. Boone Pickens hosted a packed luncheon, as I mentioned, at a Dallas venue for Fiorina in late September, while venture capitalist Tom Perkins is planning a fundraising gala in California in the next few months. Perkins says, my money is on her. She served on Hewlett-Packard's board during Fiorina's... he served on Hewlett-Packard's board during Fiorina's tenure, so he knows her. I think she should be president. He says, as the only woman on stage at the September 16th debate, Fiorina emerged as the most effective candidate in taking on frontrunner Donald Trump. You could argue that, though, because just because she came back at him about his remarks about her face, I mean, that issue isn't going to affect your and my security. It's not going to affect your and my infrastructure, the bridges. And I'm not anti-Carly Fiorina. I kind of like her too. Maybe she, I don't know. Nobody likes to be second fiddle, but...
No, exactly.
Let's see.
I like where you're going.
The emails have not stopped since then, said seasoned California political fundraising consultant Carolyn Dorsey, who is working on behalf of several Republican presidential candidates, including Rubio and former Governor Jeb Bush, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Everyone wants her nationwide in every single state. That's what they're saying about Carly Fiorina. Even before her rapid rise in the polls, she has vaulted to second place in the key early voting state of New Hampshire. Fiorina has already garnered about $2 million in support from the likes of reclusive hedge fund baron Robert Mercer and former Univision CEO Gerald Parencio. Well, Univision doesn't like Donald Trump.
No.
That's crazy.
They're gonna, that's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know. We might have our first female president, and her name might not be Clinton.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Fiorina's campaign now appears far less of a long shot than it did over the summer. when she was struggling with sparse crowds, scant name recognition, and a coffer of just $5 million that put her at the bottom of the money race.
And she made sense in that first debate, even though she was on the second team. You know, they put her there, but she answered the questions, and they moved her up to the first team.
Her campaign so far has been a bare-bones operation relying on young, relatively low-paid staff, and not many of them, as opposed to the sprawling operations by Jeb Bush. Support from the Kochs would change her operation overnight. Mm-hmm. It sure would.
Yeah.
We think she's pretty viable, said broadcasting billionaire Stanley Hubbard, a member of the Koch brothers' network of conservative advocacy groups who donates heavily to political candidates. The Koch brothers have been keeping a close eye on Fiorina ever since she announced in May.
But in the end, it's the American voter.
And again, you have to wonder, are they doing this because they're afraid that Donald Trump will win? And if they're afraid, why are certain businessmen afraid of another businessman unless he's going to make some changes that they don't like?
Oh, great point. Yes. And I believe that scenario that you just painted.
The Koch brothers extended an invitation to Carly Fiorina to speak at their exclusive summit of rich donors at an oceanfront luxury resort in August. They also invited Bush and Rubio and Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, who, as you know, since then has dropped out, and Texas Senator Ted Cruz.
But not Trump.
Good point, yeah. They didn't invite Trump. And as you probably know, if you listen to Glenn Beck, Ted Cruz is his darling.
Yes.
He likes him. It's kind of a weird way to say it.
Yeah, but it's the truth. That's the great way to express it.
Carly Fiorina, the lowest polling candidate at the gathering, impressed the big money attendees with her mastery of policy detail and heavyweight stage presence. The Fiorina campaign and the independent fundraising super PAC supporting her declining comment. Really?
Yeah, she's a good speaker.
The Kochs, who own America's second largest private company, have backed Fiorina in the past, notably when she ran unsuccessfully against incumbent Democrat Barbara Boxer for her California seat in 2010. Mm-hmm. At the time, the Koch brothers had helped mount a campaign for Proposition 23, which was a ballot measure designed to suspend the state law banning higher carbon emissions that was ultimately defeated.
Oh.
This is why the liberals don't like the Koch brothers, by the way. Mm-hmm. Fiorina, and by the way, when I say liberals, I should say environmentalists.
Yeah.
Because environmentalists, whether they're liberal or conservative, mm-hmm. they obviously wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Fiorina also supported the measure. A Koch Industries PAC helped sponsor a Washington fundraiser for Fiorina at the time and gave $10,000 to her campaign. Well, I don't know. It sounds to me like the big money is afraid of the big money.
Yeah. Yep, I think so.
It is interesting. I wonder what the real dollar amounts are.
Oh, it's got to be huge.
I wonder if Donald Trump I mean, some people say he doesn't have as much as he says he has.
Uh-huh.
And yet you have to wonder. I mean, he's doing all this on his own.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He has he's got the name recognition, of course, so he has that kind of a catapulting starting point.
And he's got a presence, and people are genuinely listening to him.
You know what I was thinking about with him, too? Mm-hmm. Here's what I was thinking about. If you were to ask me to build a bridge or to build a building, mm-hmm. I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't know how to design it. I wouldn't even know how to mix cement. I wouldn't know the first thing about it. I bet you Donald Trump doesn't know any more than I know about building a bridge. Mm-hmm. But what I do know is that Donald Trump knows how to find people who know.
Yeah.
And how to work deals with them so that they know. And how do we know that he knows how to do that? Because he's done it.
Yeah, he's successful.
So where I wouldn't even know how to get a group of people together to do this. I mean, can you imagine? Okay, we need to build an 80-story building in Ocala. Mm-hmm. Larry, would you do this for us?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't know. I'll need to get some help. Oh, go ahead, get some help. I wouldn't have a clue how to do this.
Yeah.
Donald Trump does have a clue how to do this. Mm-hmm. He does it all the time. How important is infrastructure to this country? Well, we just drove from here to Chattanooga and back. Let me tell you something. We have some bad roads.
Yeah.
We've got some good ones.
Yep.
But we've got some bad ones.
They have to be fixed.
Infrastructure is important. Defense is important.
Very. Defense is number one.
Having somebody who's the team leader who knows how to get the team players that are the best players on the team. That's important.
Exactly.
All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. Thank you for your participation.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.